G'day guys, Mick here. This episode of 5 Minute Yarns, I want to talk about brand bias. Basically when people have a bias towards a certain brand for whatever reason it might be. Yes, I have a bias now towards the Pajero, to the Mitsubishi. That's largely because, well, I drove it, I fell in love with it, and the car's proven itself to me. So yeah, I do have a bias towards the Pajero for that. I also have a bias towards a parts store, being Bullseye Automotive at Gorican, because again, they've proven themselves to me. Had amazing service from the guys, best prices, amazing service, and great products. So yeah, whereas other stores have proven to be not worth the money, such as Super Cheap for a lot of things. But especially these guys that are getting into the four-wheel drive market, just starting to buy a four-wheel drive, just starting to kit them out, whatever it might be. I see a lot of brand bias because they see on TV and that people are always running Land Cruisers or Patrols and whatnot, or Rangers or whatever it might be. They think that that's their only options because, well, it's brand bias. But what they don't seem to understand is a lot of the time these people are sponsored, or most of the time these people are sponsored, maybe not specifically by the manufacturer of the vehicle, but by the companies that produce the parts for them. And therefore, you know, for example, let's buy an 80 series Land Cruiser because our sponsor can give us all these different parts for an 80 series, but they can't for a Patrol, just as an example. All right. So yeah, a lot of the times you'll see brand bias in that sort of a sense, is they'll buy the vehicle because they can get the sponsored parts. There may be deep down love for them. You see, I don't want to go mentioning other shows in particular, but there's one guy, and you probably know who I mean, he drives Hiluxes, and that's simply because he loves his Hilux. And hey, I don't blame him. But then you got all your other bits and pieces. And four-wheel drive Super Centre was a shocker for this, in my opinion anyway. I've got a couple of four-wheel drive Super Centre products. I've got a couple of Kings products and I don't mind them. They're cheap, they're nasty, they do the job. They probably won't last me 5-10 years, whatever. Probably last me 2 maybe, but they're cheap and nasty and they do the job. But they sponsored a particular show, and because of that everybody went out and got all their products. But now all of a sudden they're no longer a sponsor for that show. All the products have been removed from that show's vehicles, and they're telling you to go and buy something else. There's a big issue in that sense when it comes to content creators and TV shows and things like that. When they have a sponsorship by whoever that is, bugger off. When they have a sponsorship by a company, they will do everything they can to promote that company's products, whether they believe in it or not. And I think most of you that are watching probably know who I'm referring to in that sense. But again, I'm not mentioning any names because I don't want to start rivalries between myself and other content creators or other channels. But they do. A lot of the shows that you watch, you might think, oh, they're brilliant products, such as products like Kings. And again, I'm not knocking Kings. I've got Kings gear in my car. I use Kings gear myself. I've got seat covers, I've got solar, the sidewall for the awning. I've got their light bar, their light strips, things like that. I've got BCF light bars, things like that, you know. So I'm not knocking the brands. I'm not saying they're crap. But people will tell you they're amazing quality because they're paid to. So when it comes to the brand bias, you'll see these creators being biased towards a company or to a brand because that's what they're paid to do. So when you're a newbie getting out there looking to buy bits and pieces, to buy a vehicle, don't be biased to one brand. Because you know, you buy another brand and you might just find something that shits all over the one that you were thinking. Again, I've owned when it comes to cars. I've owned Falcons, I've owned Commodores, I've owned Toyota Hilux, wife's got a Corolla, we had a Mitsubishi Lancer, and I've got the Pajero. I doubted the Pajero when I bought it. When I was first looking at cars, I was doubting the Pajero. I always thought Mitsubishi's nothing but Jap crap. Well, now I love the thing. It's blown me away. The Lancer had some issues, but otherwise it wasn't a bad little car. Although the previous owner had put a fart box cannon on it and all this sort of crap, and yeah, it was a nice car. The Corolla, you know, it's a 97, little 4-cylinder, zippy little piece of crap, but it's reliable, runs great, and does what it's got to do. So, and the Falcons, well, I've always been biased to Falcons because I'm a Ford man. All you Holden lovers out there probably think I'm an idiot for it, but I'm a Ford man. And again, like, they've been good cars. The wife was given a Commodore, so if my in-laws watch this, fuck you. I might have to edit that part out actually. They won't see this. But yeah, the Commodore was a piece of shit. That's why it was given to us. So never buy a car off family. Or never take a car off family, I should say. But yeah, anyway guys, I'm up to 6.5 minutes, so I'm going to cut it to that. Brand bias, guys. Have a look around. Don't just go, oh yeah, I've heard this brand's awesome, I'm going to buy everything in that brand. Have a look around. Find prices. For example, if you're looking for Darchi stuff, I've never used Darchi, but if you're looking for Darchi stuff, search a few places that sell it and look for the best prices on it. And yeah, really don't discount some of the cheap stuff, because some of the cheap stuff can still be good, but don't discount a brand just because you've never really heard of it, or that it's not one that you see all these TV presenters bloody or YouTube personalities promoting the crap out of. Alright guys, again, cut it at that. I'm now up to 7.5 minutes. Peace, take care, and I'll see you on the track.